everyone, JohnTrigger12 back here again with another video. Yes, it's time for another segment of Dragon Ball Z, making a Dragon Ball Z live-action franchise. Yes, it's been a while since I've done one, so let's just get right down into it. But instead of the normal way of doing things, we're going to do things a little bit more differently. We're going to be as bold as possible, because you know what? Why are we still playing by, like, these restrictions? Why are we having these stupid little taglines where we have to hide behind what we really want to say? Let's be as bold as possible. Let's throw some fucking ideas around, people. Let's fucking get shit done. You want to know why I'm so happy and why I'm so frustratedly, aggravated and, amped up right now? You don't want to know why? Because my copyright strike is gone. Yes, my copyright strike is gone. It's done. It's away. It's fucking my past. So now it's time to do as many lengthy videos as I want. I'm going to just ramble and ramble and ramble, and you guys can just sit back, relax, fucking tag along if you want, fucking drink a beer. I don't know what you guys do when you fucking watch my videos, but you can do it while I continue to ramble into things that make no sense, and as long as I want, because you know why? I fucking like it. So let's get right down to it. Making a Dragon Ball Z live-action franchise. Before I get into the topics that I want to get into, let's rehash something I stated in my last segment. Last time I was talking about casting decisions. As a filmmaker myself, and I'm not saying that to be cocky or anything. I'm just saying that just to throw it out there as a preference. I don't know how to cast people. I don't really know like what's a good casting. Because just because you have a good actor doesn't mean you have a good movie. You have to have everything on its side to actually come out good, because we've seen plenty of awesome actors being really shitty ass excuses of movies. So it's really hard to cast a movie, especially something that you need to get off the ground as a franchise, particularly an anime franchise, because you know what? There's no fucking good anime franchises, at least live action wise. So you know what? It's really hard to cast who's going to be tagging along in these movies for decades to come. But one of the bigger ones that I really, fucking put my way out there to, like, think of, is Frieza. As you all know, I believe in stages and series. I believe, like, if you were going to do a Dragon Ball Z live-action franchise, it would be better to start with a Series 1, which would include the legacy of Goku, as I dubbed it, which would be Saiyan Saga and ending towards the Frieza Saga, all wrapped up into one series, which I personally think would work in a live-action franchise. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I'd like to see any other sagas in the storyline to be, shown, like the Dragon Ball stuff, the Red Ribbon Army stuff, the King Piccolo stuff, all that other awesome stuff. But I think it'd be, much more film-worthy to see Saiyan Saga shown in the front world, and some people like to differ with me, some people like to debate with me, like how that's a bad idea. But you know what? It is what it is. People in America, when they think of anime, they think Dragon Ball Z. And when they think Dragon Ball, they think Dragon Ball Z. It's kind of like the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers thing. As we all know, Power Rangers, as we know it now, is Super Mega Force. But they're not making a Super Mega Force Power Rangers movie. They're doing a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie. Why? Because in America, everybody knows Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. We grew up with Power Rangers from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. That's what we like. That's what it's best known as. Same thing about Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball, anywhere in the entire worldwide, it's widely known as Dragon Ball, one complete series. But here in America, where I fucking live my life, it's Dragon fucking Ball Z. So you know what? It feels better to start with the Saiyan Saga. It's the first thing that all of us saw growing up. It was the first battle that we got to see, witnessing, getting us exploring, wanting to know what is this anime. And plus, who did not grow up with that Goku versus Vegeta fight? I mean, come on, it's the most epic battle of all time. It's the definitive battle / fight in all of fictional history. And that will go down into the end of time. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Anybody can name out a battle, a fictional battle in anime history. It doesn't beat Goku versus Vegeta. It's the definitively best fight of all time. And you could put that in the books. But anyways, the more important thing to talk about is, of course, the casting. Now, I personally don't know who I would cast as a Goku. I really couldn't say, like, I you know, like I said this plenty of times. You want a Goku, go out and look for the Henry Cavill Asian version of him, you know, because that's your Goku. That's who I would cast. If there was the Asian Henry Cavill walking around out there, I would get that fucking guy. I don't know that fucking guy, so I don't fucking know. And a lot of people like to throw out, like, really ridiculous people. I don't know. I personally think, just because the guy looks like the person doesn't mean he should be the person, you know? It's kind of like YouTubers' dream castings on YouTube. I mean, most of them are awesome, but the Dragon Ball Z ones are really kind of dumb. Particularly, like, really cliche ones. Like, I don't know how many times I can see Scott Adkins for Goku, and, you know, fucking Goldberg for Nappa. You know, it's like one of those things where it's like, you can see them almost every single fucking time in a casting. You know, and no offense to those guys, but they're not, I wouldn't really cast them as my Goku and Nappa. They're not really my definitive picks. But for all the characters, there's only one that I can choose for a casting right now. If I was in charge, if the companies gave me, like, complete creative control, and they were like, dude, who would you cast? I'm sure they wouldn't even start the, you know, the statement with dude. I'm sorry, I'm just an idiot. But anyways, I would go forth and say Frieza. Who would you cast as Frieza? I'd pick Cate Blanchett. And I know what you guys are thinking. Why Cate Blanchett? She's not even physically, you know, superior. And plus, she's not a martial artist. Blah, blah, blah. Huckety, huckety, huckety. I don't know what the fuck. Here's the reasons as to why I would choose Cate Blanchett as my definitive Frieza if I was creating a live-action franchise. First off, Cate Blanchett is a blowout, knockout actress. She's a legit actress. Everything she does is out of this world fucking phenomenal. She's a bona fide badass actress. She knows her shit. She can act her way out of fucking anything. And that's even including bad movies. I mean, like, even if you watch a really crappy movie, but if she's in it and she's fucking stealing the scene, it's the fucking scene of the day. That's just my personal opinion. Plus, I believe the K&K Productions, for those of you who don't know, I've named them plenty of times on this segment. K&K Productions, they had it right when they did their Frieza Saga bullshit thing. Or whatever the fuck they're calling it. I don't know. It should be called at this point, whatever we want to do, because that's essentially what they're doing. But anyways, they were doing a Frieza Saga segment, and they chose a woman to play the voice, well, not the voice, but the face of Frieza. And I think that was a good idea to go forth. But I don't think the woman they chose was good. I mean, a lot of fans reacted, you know, greatly. I mean, a lot of people liked it. I mean, who's going to argue some hot chick, cosplay-looking chick to play fucking Frieza? Fuck, I'm all in. But at the end of the day, when I think of my Frieza, I do think it should be a woman. But I also think it should be an older woman. You know, because and this is why I say this, because when you listen, not even even the Japanese version, when you listen to Frieza and watch, you know, his actions in the series, he's older. He's definitively older than any other character in Dragon Ball. Not including the Kais and, you know, obviously the Grand Kais and all those other fucks. I'm not including the gods, not including the gods, but all of the, you know, material people, you know, like the Saiyans and, you know, like, you know, Goku and friends and fucking the other aliens. Frieza's pretty much the oldest. He's definitively the oldest character. And you need an older character. And plus, whoever you're going to cast as your Goku, he's more than likely going to be between his mid to late 20s to his early 30s. That's the range of, like, who you're casting for your Goku, generally. Because Goku, in the anime, particularly at that stage, is in his 20s. He's really in his 20s. So, to counterbalance that, you would have to have someone older, you know, to balance that out. Because, you know, look at comic book movies. You have the Avengers. Most of them are pretty young. Then you got James Spader. You have a legit actor playing a definitive villain. Same thing about Thanos. You got Thanos, who's the god of the Avengers universe as we know it, essentially played by James Brolin, who's obviously also a significantly older actor in comparison to the other guys. So, with the exception of a few. But I don't know, I personally think that's the right way to go. If you want a definitive actor, it needs to be older in comparison to your own young actor. Because if you just have a cast full of young people, then you just got a TV movie, and that's just unfortunate. I don't know, that's just my personal opinion. And plus, Cate Blanchett would be perfect for it. As we all know, it should be played by a woman. It has to be played by a woman. It just needs to. I mean, it's just, if you're going to do an American version, regardless of, you know, whatever anybody else is doing, it has to be played by a woman. Full frontal, straight up woman. You know, it's a great counterbalance. And plus, I think Cate Blanchett would be great for it because, A, she is a good actress, and plus, look at it, you know, realistically. Right now, she's in her 60s. Or 50s, I don't know, I should have looked up. I think most likely she is in her 60s, if I'm not mistaken. By the time you're starting your franchise, and this is even if you're not including her in your first movie, which I think you should do, especially if you're, you know, telling the origins of why Goku is in Earth and whatnot, which is something I would do. You would have to have an older actress, and by the time you do that movie, which, let's say you're working on let's just think of this realistically, scheduling-wise. If you're working on a movie right now, by the time you get to use Frieza in a legitimate movie, besides, you know, some cutscenes and flashbacks here and there, you wouldn't even be having them in it until, like, almost, I don't know, I like to say down the line past 2020. I mean, like, because each movie is going to tease Frieza. You're going to have a Frieza tease in almost every single movie that passes by. And plus, the space in between, you can leave to one-shots and other stuff like that. And I'll get to that later. But by the time you get into a Frieza movie, where Frieza has to take on the Z-Warriors, especially Goku, Cate Blanchett is going to be a lot older, and she, at that point in time, is going to be considered a Golden Age actress. She's going to be considered a Golden Age actress. So at that time, you have the perfect in. You're going to make money right off the bat by just having her name in the credits. I'm telling you guys. It's just a good, as a business I'm a stuttering idiot. As a business decision, I say it would be best to have her in that franchise. Make a movie deal with her. I don't know what kind of deal you have to make with the devil, but you have to get someone like her or her herself into this franchise. Because then not only does it do good for, you know, the movies, but it also gives some, I guess you would say, I don't know, it would legitimize what you're doing. Because if you don't have any big stars in your movie, then you just have a cast of unknowns. Which majority of your cast might end up being, because most of them are going to have to be Asian, a lot of them are going to be mixed racially, and a lot of them are going to be young at that point. You know, and most of them also going to be martial artists. So, of course, you're going to have a mixture of a whole bunch of unknown actors. You're going to have a big-name actor in there. So, I personally go with Cate Blanchett. But then again, if you're not going with a Cate Blanchett, here's my second one, Amy Adams. Those are my two biggest fucking choices. Anybody who disagrees or agrees with anything I state in the comment section below, please tell me your definitive choice for a Frieza. I give Cate Blanchett or Amy Adams. And those are my two biggest choices. I personally believe it should be played by a woman, especially after the chaos of Raditz, Vegeta, and Captain Ginyu. You're gonna need a fucking different, you know, kind of pace of villainy, which is gonna be great. Older actress, woman, fucking beating up Goku, makes good money right there. I'm just saying. At that point in time, if you can make Goku the new Superman, at this point in time, in the movie business, you get a woman in there, Jesus Christ, shit's going down. People are going to be paying so many tickets. I'm just telling you, people. I'm just saying. But anyways, you know what? Let's move off of that. I've been rambling way too long. But you know what? I don't have to stop anywhere because you know why? I have no fucking time limit. Let's continue. My second topic that I really want to talk about is Easter eggs and references. I was thinking, like, in my definitive series, if I was in charge of a franchise and I wanted to make what I wanted to make, personally, it would be hard to maintain and contain everything that I would want to see in a live-action franchise. It would be very difficult. I mean, like, I'm pretty sure anybody would find it very difficult. But the best way to get everything you want is by Easter eggs and references. Examples. I'll give you examples right now. You're in Capsule Corp. Bulma's, working on the Scouter or, like, the Saiyan pods or something. In the background, you see Trunks' sword. Reference to Trunks. You never get to Trunks, but there's a reference to Trunks. Another, you're at Chi-Chi's house. You never see Goku fight with his, you never get to see Goku, with other types of various stages in his life, right? You don't get to see him fight. You never get to see other things. You get photographs, various photographs, photo albums, because in the anime there's sequences, obviously, where Chi-Chi's going through things, Gohan's gone, Goku's gone, she's going through things, references right there, photographs. Photographs are great references in movies to past experiences. You see photographs of Goku at the World Tournament, Goku meeting Chi-Chi, stuff like that. The birth of Gohan, I don't know, stuff like that. Great references. I just think Easter eggs and references can go a long way with telling your story if you can't get everything done. Same thing about flashbacks. A lot of you kind of gave me shit about the flashbacks, but personally, you know what? Unless someone's giving you more than $1 billion for everything you're about to shoot, you gotta fucking deal with the flashbacks, people. I'm just saying. Because we're not gonna make 1 billion movies here until we make that one really good franchise. So, moving on. My definitive Easter egg, if I was making a live-action Dragon Ball Z movie, this is what I'm gonna fucking do. I'm about to blow everybody's mind right now, so I hope everybody's, holding onto a chair. Here's my definitive Easter egg that any Dragon Ball Z fan who goes into the theater seeing the first ever live-action movie of Dragon Ball Z is gonna witness one of the greatest Easter eggs. And comic book movies have been doing this forever, and they've been doing a great job. And anime movies need to do the same thing, and this is what I would do. And here's the first lesson. Here's the first, ever giveaway. You want to know what you got to do? Here it is. Alright. Frieza's lair. It's the opening stages of the film. We haven't gotten into Goku and Raditz and Piccolo and all that other nonsense. We're still on Planet Vegeta. You get some montages here and there, what Bardock's dealing with, the introduction of Goku as a baby, sending him to Earth. Frieza's spaceship hovering over Planet Vegeta. Frieza is contemplating whether or not he's going to destroy the planet, but he's having a conversation with someone. We don't know who it is. It's in the shadows. We can't really see anything. Everything's all cut really fast. We don't know what the heck's going on. A lot of dubbing going on. It's in the darkness. We zoom in. We're out into the open. We're in space. We're in Frieza's spaceship, but we're closing in into his lair. A lot of people going by. Maybe Zarbon and Dodoria. You maybe see them in the background. Maybe foreshadowing. But then we're getting towards his room, and we're entering his lair. His little dark, menacing little lair. We're getting closer and closer. And the camera continues to zoom in. It's going very slowly, but relatively getting there. Then someone walks out and then leaves, and then we never see him again. And this is the Easter egg, people. He's not human. He's not a Saiyan. He's not Bardock. He's not Zarbon or Dodoria. He's not an alien. He's a tall, skinny, purple cat. That is fucking genius. I'm just telling you, people. If you guys don't think that just did not blow your fucking minds, I don't know what will. I'm just saying, this is the way you do it. You want an Easter egg where people are going to be like, oh shit, I don't know about this movie. I went online, I bitched about it on YouTube, I don't fucking know. Dragon Ball Z, what is this? It's stupid. Can't work as a movie. The anime's better. You go to the movies, you're seeing it, okay, I'm getting into it, okay, I got my popcorn, whatever. Then Beerus, the god of destruction, comes out. Live action, rather. CGI, rather. And then he talks, and he walks away like a badass. Oh my god, fanboys are gonna go crazy. I'm just telling you, people, shit's gonna go down in that theater. People are gonna know that was Beerus. And you know what, maybe not even let him talk. Don't even let him talk. Don't even show him that well. Maybe, it's really blurry, and he's, in the corner, and he's leaving somewhere. But he's a purple cat, and you can see his ears and shit. I'm just telling you, people, Easter eggs and references can go a pretty long way. So I'm just saying, it needs to be done. And I'm telling you, if I was doing the first movie, and this was going to go down, and, they gave me as much creative control as possible, I would have a Beerus Easter egg. I'm not saying I would do anything with it, but I would say that I would put it in there. You know, not saying that I was gonna like make a Beerus movie or a Beerus saga or some shit, because, you know, Battle of Gods already did that, but I'm just saying, I would just put them in there as an Easter egg for everybody, all the Dragon Ball Z fans at home. That's just personally what I would do, and that's just for me to give to you guys to, like, throw around. But, you know what, it's been a long time, I've been talking for a long time, God, this is actually possibly the longest I've talked on an audio fucking video for a long time, so you know what, I'm going to try and cut it as short as possible, because, you know what, I'm kind of running out of ideas. I like to learn other people's ideas. What do you have suggestions for? You guys want a Dragon Ball Z live action franchise? Let's talk about it. Let's debate it. You don't think it might work? Tell me why. And possibly, casting decisions. I like to hear one of those. But at the end of the day, here's another piece of advice that I would give to anybody who's a upcoming filmmaker or somebody who wants to make a Dragon Ball Z live action franchise happen. Here's what you got to do. Once you go to the companies, and whoever they may be, 20th Century Fox still owns the rights, even though I don't think they should. They still own the rights. Go to Fox, give them test footage of what you would do. Here is the test footage that I would personally do if I was going to do anything like that. Recreate, live action wise, recreate the opening sequences of the anime, Dragon Ball Z the anime. Personally, that's the way I would go. Of course, like the montages of the sky, the ocean, Rocky Mountains, Goku flying on Nimbus with Gohan, Gohan running around with Shenron, all the Z Warriors, Vegeta turning Super Saiyan, Trunks cutting Frieza with a sword. That entire montage, film it as test footage. And you can even do it CGI, why not? Just do it completely CGI, even the people, why not? It's just test footage. But I'm just saying, guys, if you guys want to make a live action franchise happen, any Dragon Ball fan wants this to be a reality instead of a fantasy in my head, do that. Make that test footage happen, show me, I want to fucking see that, that would be pretty badass. And give it to 20th Century Fox, tell them we want it to happen, let it happen, let's get shit going. Let's get a script and a screenplay off the ground. Let's go out into the world, casting some people. Let's get shit done, Sorry for all the cursing, sorry for all the absurdity that I did over this video, but you know what, I'm happy. I'm happy because I don't have any time limits anymore. And you know what, I'm sick of filtering myself, people. I'm sick of having to, obscure the things I want to say, rather than say them, because you know what, a lot of people have made it clear that, there's some people who may not like my personal thoughts, may not like, people speaking out about things that might not ever happen, but you know what, I personally want a Dragon Ball Z live action franchise. Think of all the movies we're going to get in the next, couple years, all the comic book movies, not to mention all the Star Wars movies. I'm telling you, people, a lot of shit's gonna go down. And you know what? Anime is losing its fucking thread there. It's losing its last living thread. And I'm just saying, if you guys want shit to go down, make that test footage happen. Create that test footage. And send it to Fox. And if no one's gonna do anything, you know what? Make a movie. Just do it by yourself. Completely non-profitable. Of course, it would be better to make things official, but you know what, 20th Century Fox, if they're not going to do shit, they better just sell the rights. Just my personal opinion. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this, another addition to my segment, making a Dragon Ball Z live action franchise. I'll definitely have more personal parts into this segment, but you know what, I actually thought about this earlier today, which was that, seeing as how I'm starting, to branch off and do my own personal podcast, wouldn't it be interesting just to do my own personal Dragon Ball Z podcast? It's just a thought. Tell me in the comment section what do you guys personally think about that. Would you like to hear a hour-long podcast of me just talking about Dragon Ball Z stuff, particularly stuff like this, a live-action franchise, and other stuff like that, various stuff, video games, anime, movies, manga, all the, whatever Akira Toriyama says that's hysterical or ridiculous, all the awesome stuff of Dragon Ball Z universe into this one podcast. Tell me if you guys think that's a good idea, but at the end of the day, all the ideas that I put out there, I hope everyone takes them with a grain of salt. We don't know where Dragon Ball Z is going to be heading in the next several years, but I'm just trying to put out there into people's heads, particularly fans of anime and Dragon Ball Z, that if anime fans don't do something now, we're going to lose our thread with Hollywood. Movies are coming out of the fucking woodworks. You know, people are making billions of dollars off of comic book movies and fantasy movies. The great thing about Dragon Ball Z, it's the fusion of both. It's a fantasy, it's also a freaking comic book series. Why not get some of that money? We need to get some of that Mel Gibson's, you know, George Lucas FU money, you know, to fucking make shit happening. That's just my personal opinion. But you know what? That's going to be it. I hope everyone enjoyed. I hope no one was offended. And of course, you know what? If you were if you didn't agree with anything I stated in this video, in the comment section below, please leave your personal thoughts. And you know what? At the end, leave me suggestions, like I said. And personally, I'll be back with another part in this segment. And of course, personal thoughts on the podcast. And anyways, that's going to be it. I hope you guys enjoyed. This has been John 12.